In this video, we're going to talk about drawing in 2D in FREECAD. So we're going to start with a new topic. In the previous lesson, we saw how we can work with meshes and other types of 3D models. Now we're going to start to create our 3D models starting from a sketch, from a drawing. But before we continue, I just want to recap here some of the different types of modeling or types of creation of 3D objects that you have at your disposal. So we use Sketchfab, which is a website where you can download 3D models in the previous video, and you can find a lot of different types of 3D models here. Now, I'm gonna also continue using Blender because Blender is a polygonal modeling, and you can do modeling and sculpting in Blender, and you can work together with Blender and FreeCAD. But it's a totally different type of modeling if we, take a closer look. Blender, it works more with objects. Instead, FreeCAD works more with the 2D drawings. So it's closer to that type of 3D modeling, which is more precise and uses CAD drawing and precise meshes. So we also talk about parametric modeling. So parametric modeling is where when we use parameters to define objects into the software. So this is one thing we can do in FreeCAD, but also again in other software, as you can see here. And then we have NURBS modeling, which is based on NURBS, which are non-uniform rational B-splines. So basically, they're based on curves and then on surfaces, and then those surfaces are close together to become a solid. And this is something similar to FreeCAD, and this is something you do in Rhino mostly, which is another 3D software, so it's called Rhino. If you want, you can find Rhino and Blender and other software in the channel. Then we have polygonal modeling. Now, polygonal modeling, again, is what we usually do in Blender, but also we can use Maya or 3ds Max or Cinema 4D. They all contain polygonal modeling and also some NURBS modeling. And this is based on starting with a face or with a box and then creating a lot of subdivisions. But you can see the structure here is clean, is neat. So this is a good structure for polygonal modeling, like this one here. And then you increase the number of polygons, you have more and more details until you can get into the next phase, which is the sculpting. So sculpting is like an extreme way to work with polygons. So you have a lot of number of polygons, and you can work on them like in reality you will work with clay, for example. So that's the evolution of polygonal modeling. And then you have photogrammetry. We talked about photogrammetry. And also, for digital sculpting, you can check ZBrush or Mudbox. And also you can use Blender. And then you have photogrammetry, which is, this is not modeling. This is just taking picture of an object with a drone or with a device. And then with those pictures, you can generate a 3D model, which looks pretty fine from like far away. But when you get closer, you have a lot of different, well, it creates a cloud of point, a point cloud. And from that, it generates meshes and it generates like a 3D model, but it's not so precise as the one that we can create with parametric modeling, with NURBS modeling, with polygon modeling, and even with sculpting. So it's kind of, yeah, pretty fast, but it has a lot of issues. So this is good for, creating something that looks pretty close to reality. If you need to do like a 3D representation of an interior exterior, but it's not so good when you need to do like manufacturing or again, really precise 3D models. So you can find all those topics in the channel. So I'm gonna delete some stuff here so we can do it together, or I can just move them like away from the origin. So I'm gonna use the move tool up here, and every tool usually can be used directly here in the space, or it can be used through the parameters here. So this is why we call this parametric. So I'm gonna move this aside a little bit so we can do it again in here. And now you can see there is an empty space. We know these are the x and epsilon axes. So red for the x, green for the epsilon, and we have a 2D space. So usually when we work on the draft workbench, we want to draw, we want to design in 2D, and you can choose the various working planes here, or work planes. So you have the front, you have the top, the right, etc., etc. You can also change it using the numbers on the keyboard. So I'm going to go from the top, which is usually the one that you use to create plan views and to work with this type of design. And up here we have some toolbars. One thing I want to add on the toolbar, if you don't see some of the toolbars that you should see, you can right click and you can access here the various, you can open up and close the various toolbars. So for example, one that is really handy here is the draft snap, which is for snapping and working more precisely. And usually they also go here on the top right, so they are a little bit hidden. So if you click on these two arrows here, you can undock them and you can place it wherever you want. You can leave it floating around, you can dock it perhaps in here. So make sure you see everything you need, so you can reorganize the space however you want using these toolbars. As long as you have space here, you can also add or remove more of these. You can lock the toolbars, so you want to move it accidentally, and you can also go to the customize again, where we set up the keyboard shortcuts, and then we have the toolbars right here and other stuff that you can customize. So anyway, another thing I customized is in the preferences. So I change the grid color and etc, etc. So if I go to preferences and I go to the draft section, here I can change some settings for this type of workbench. So I will not go through all of this, but you can take your time and check all this stuff. And here also in the interface you have some shortcut keys, and then grid and snapping. So this is where you can set up how things can snap, and how for example the grid will be presented, and also how you can snap to the grid. So here you can say always show the grid, or you can hide the grid, and then you can select all these stuff. So this is important. Grid spacing is in millimeters here, so I can set up like 1 millimeter. You can also change the units of everything here like into something else, but by default we have 1 meter. So if I increase this, we're gonna have a bigger grid. And also you can choose, let me show you here, I'm just gonna move aside, and also change the color. So if you want to see this better, you may want to increase the grid color. Let's apply so you can see now a little bit better. And then we have grid spacing, so let's set up 2, apply, so you can see now it's a bigger grid. And also let's go back to 1 millimeter, and here you have measure every lines. So you have major lines each 10 squares, so each 10 millimeters. And then you have grid the size, so the overall grid is going to be 100 millimeters. So I can say 200 and apply again. This is going to be a bigger grid. And then you can set up the grid transparency, so let's say like 50%, and that's not visible here, but it should work on the transparency. Otherwise you can drop down again the intensity of the grid if you don't want to see it too much. So you can adjust this to your likings. Just hit apply to see the difference. And then you can change the color of the snapping, the snap symbol, and you can activate the constraint by using Shift. And the snap, you can always snap, or you can activate the snap using Control. Depends on which you prefer. We're just gonna work in a minute so you can decide. And let's apply again. Now if you want to reset, you can go here and just click on reset. You can reset the entire draft group, or just the grid and snapping, or everything if you want. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it as it is, but you can, if you want, come here and customize. Let's say okay. So down here also you have the buttons to toggle the grid on and off, so you can show it or not show it. And here you have the snap. So if you hold this, you can activate and deactivate the snap. Now we locked the snap. You can see the locker is closed, so we cannot change this. If I click again and click and hold, you can see now